Um, to everyone watching, thank you for watching the film as a part of the Virginia Film Festival. My name is Lorenzo Dickerson, and I am a filmmaker in Charlottesville, Virginia, as well as the Director of Communications at the University of Virginia's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Want to introduce the panelists that we have from this amazing film. I feel like I know everyone after watching it. We have Mr. Martin Montgomery, the director, cinematographer, and editor of the film Heard. We also have Mr. TJ Thompson, Miss Cotina Brake, Miss Gwendolyn Harris, and Mr. Demonte Cosby with us. So thank you all for being with us. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you. And we appreciate the film. It was amazing.
Awesome.
First, I wanted to start with you, Martin. Um, First, what made you want to make such a positive film?
Oh man, I mean that's the goal, right? As a filmmaker, it's to try to, at least for me, is to want to do topics that can motivate and get people inspired, especially when they don't know the world that you're going to go into and try to represent it well. And so, yeah, I was dealing with a bunch of other projects at the time, and David Powers, the producer, I had never met before, and he had texted or emailed somehow, got my information, and came in and we had a meeting. And he told me this idea that he had of wanting to shine light on stories in and coming out of public housing. And I have to be honest with you, my first thought was, I don't know. I don't know if I'm the guy to do that. And it's because it was so unknown to me. I've driven past a lot of the communities. Uh, I lived on the other side of one of the communities and drove past it for 11 years, and never turned right and went into Gilpin Court. Never did. And so David and I went back and forth, and I said, "Look, you know what?" I said, "Why don't we test it out? Why don't I film enough to see if I'm the right guy for the project, and let's do it like a teaser, and you can use that to help raise funds so we can do the project or not." So he set one interview up, and that's with Vaughn Johnson, who unfortunately is not with us right now on this panel. And in the first 5 minutes, I just shook my head and just went, "Oh man, I'm in." And I just never turned back. It's just been an awesome ride, getting to meet every single person that's in this film along the way.
Definitely. Thank you. I can see how the stories from everyone in the film just really bring you in, and it's great to really know you all through your stories. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Um, and Miss Brake, Miss Harris, and Mr. Thompson, as well as Mr. Cosby. Um, what made you want to be a part of this film? What encouraged you to say yes?
For me, it was just about wanting more for myself, wanting more for my family, um, and then being that example. I know I'm not the first person that has, you know, thrived and went ahead and accomplished goals and things moving out of RRHA, but at that present moment, um, I felt like I could be motivation to, other people who felt as though they could not do it. Um, and an example of it's never too late to do it. I purchased my home at the age of 40, but who said that there had to be an age cap on, on setting your goals and achieving your goals? And so mine was just wanting more for myself, wanting more for my family, wanting to start to build wealth, wanting to start to build wealth and have something to pass down to my grandchildren and grandchildren.
Thank you. And Miss Harris, what made you want
Um,
to be a part of the film?
Well, with me, my destiny always been to motivate and read our past brothers and sisters from the prison school to prison. So I always been the one that encouraged and being real and doing things. So when Mr. Powers came to me first, I told him, I said, look, I'm not for y'all telling half my story. You got to be up, say what I say and what mean what I say. And so I said, because I'm gonna tell you, if I don't like it, I'm gonna let you know straight up. I'm just who I am. And we talk, and I mean, we talk about an hour in the coffee shop. But then I'm like, okay, I'll tell my story. And the reason why I really wanted to do it was because it gave me the platform to get out what I want to address to the brothers and sisters that's out here that's doing things, and to show them that there is encouragement. I encourage, I motivate, because I want them to be the best that they can be. So if I could have a platform to get that message out to them, that was my plan for this. And I think this documentary really touched that, and it brought everything, my vision and everything out for what I want and what I feel that's needed to bring this change into place. It happened with the people that's at the other one of us that's in the film with us. So that was my purpose for getting the platform to get the message out there, to make a change. It's all about change.
Thank you. As I was watching the film, I really thought that Ms. Harris, that your story, your wisdom really brought everything together, which was amazing.
And it was funny you say that, because when I was watching it, when we were watching it for the first time, the rest of us, and I was like, I saw it, I was like, okay, I see where he's going with it, because you'll see a lot of the other ones in it, but I see how he brought it on. And I looked at him, Mason, he was like, oh, I said, Mason, I got it. I like the way you did that. You brought it together like that. He was like, ooh, I was hoping you say that. I was like, yeah, you did that. So it was really great. I was really pleased.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like I told Mason, it's not about me. It's about me helping people. It's about the people that I'm trying to help. It's not about me. I care less about getting in the picture and all that. I'd rather do the work in the backside.
Miss Break, you mentioned in your answer just now, it was spot on as to what you were talking about in the film. You mentioned changing generational habits, and you're perfect example of that, the work that you put in, and I appreciated it, your story so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Thompson, what made you say yes and want to participate in this film?
Just, I wanted to be a part of it because I knew that the community, once they see it, I knew that they'll gravitate towards it. Just seeing some people that grew up in the same communities doing well for themselves can give hope to so many people. So I was just trying to do it because of what it can do for them. And I just can't wait for them to see it. But I just had a feeling like the motive of it, what they was going with it. We talked about it. I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Hands down, I'm down. I was ready.
Thank you. I think watching the film, I thought your hustle was extremely motivating to anyone watching the film. I had to step my game up here.
Hey.
That's just a little bit of it. You have no idea, Lorenzo.
That's the taste, man. That's a little taste.
And Mr. Cosby, what made you want to participate in this film?
Really just to set an example for the next generation. That's just that simple.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Montgomery, how did you reach out to everyone initially with starting to film this project?
Well, David Powers, the producer, and Angie Kane, the associate producer, I have to give them all the credit for that. I kind of came in later into the process. I think it was about at the 18-month mark of their research and planning and going to meetings and meeting people and getting recommendations from different community leaders that, oh, you should talk to this person. This person would be a really good storyteller because they're very positive and open. And then so when I came in, there was a board of about, oh gosh, probably about 30 names. And so it was a little overwhelming to just hear everyone's story, because it's like, how do you go, well, that story's not as good as this one and that one, but because they're people, because everybody's story is very important. And so we kind of didn't eliminate people right away. We kind of were open to it and just kind of let it marinate. And then we kind of started to see, it was the first connection for the team was seeing Vaughn, and if I tell you his age, he'd probably get mad, but he's 41. And then you have TJ that's like 10 years younger than that. And then you have Monty, who's 10 years younger than TJ. And so that was a connection to me, like to see what each one are going through with that separation. And then with Cotina's story just being so positive and just motivating, even for me, just to be like, oh my gosh, I want to spend time with Cotina. And then when you hang out with Cotina, it's like you ask her one simple question and it's like, man, she's answering and inspiring you in ways that you just had no idea about. And that's the same for Miss Gwen. I think Miss Gwen and I and Angie sat on her front porch for what, over 2 or maybe 3 hours. It was like 90, 95.
Yes.
And so the two women just really, I think that were a lot of the glue in between these three crazy guys, and I'm crazy meaning good, these just awesome guys. And that's really how the story just kind of came in. And I wanted to put it together in a way, or we wanted to put it together in a way that it wasn't, here's Cotina's story, here's Miss Gwen's story, here's Vaughn and everybody. We wanted to put it in a way that we're representing not just the people that are on the screen, but just hundreds and thousands of people that are in these communities as well. We wanted to be their story, as well. And so that's how it all came together. I hope I answered your one question with kind of going in other directions, but
No problem. Thank you.
yeah, man.
Yeah. And for everyone else, I'd really like to know, when we're telling our stories, often it can be difficult. As Ms. Montgomery, as you know, when a camera is on you, things change. So I'd really like to know from each of you, what was that experience like? Speaking to the camera, how was that? Was that different for you? Was it challenging at all?
Well, for me, it wasn't challenging. Of course, it wasn't really challenging for me at all. When I, you would think that of me, right? But no, it gave me when I did it was like, wow, because I believe that what I'm doing now, my life I'm living now, is the life that was purpose for me from God, purpose for my life. So when I do things, it's coming from that perspective. So when I look at that, that's the way I feel about it. That's the way it came off for me when I, so that's where I'm coming from when I look at this film.
I was kind of nervous, even though I've been in front of the camera before. I've done several interviews for Channel 6 News and just different things. But every time I always worry about messing up. Not that I want to be perfect, but I just don't want you to have to run your tape, cut, take 2, take 4, 5, 6. So it was just more so of not wanting to get my story out and not wanting to waste their time. I was thinking more on that level. And then still not wanting to overstep confidence and cockiness, like, oh, I got this, on the camera. I'm not there yet. I'm really shy, to be honest with you. And you would never be able to tell that because my mouth just goes.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson,
That's
what was
what
it like
happened
for
when
you
you're
to?
passionate about stuff.
It is, Miss Gwen. You're right, Miss
When
Gwen.
you're talking about something you're passionate about, because I get like that. It'd be like, okay, I need you to be quiet for 1 minute. Just hold.
Mr. Thompson, what was your experience telling your story on camera?
It was easy, to be honest. I was nervous, but at the same time, after that first time they came and meet me and everything like that, I was good after that. Like nervousness went out the window. I was just speaking my truth. I was good after that. I ain't even care. I cried on camera and all that. I ain't care. It made me feel comfortable, so I was good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great. Martin and David are awesome. They are
Yes.
awesome.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
just trying to keep up with you guys. That's all it is.
And Mr.
And don't
Cosby,
forget your girl Angela
Oh, of course. Yeah.
was in that hot sun with you on the porch.
That's right.
It was a bit nerve-wracking, but the more I did it, the more I got used to it. So I guess it was okay. It was new, but it was fun. It was a good experience.
and Mr. Montgomery, what was your biggest goal in telling this story? What did you want people to take away?
You know, honestly, someone asked us, we did a Q&A a while back with an organization before COVID came along. And one of the questions was asked, what was our agenda? And from the beginning, and the answer was we didn't have an agenda. We wanted to be open. We wanted to, you know, it would be a disservice to everyone involved if David and Angie and I thought we knew the story, and we didn't want that. We wanted to let the people that are in front of the camera give us their story, and just really honestly earn their trust to do it. And I mean, everyone that's in this film, I admire so much to be in front of the camera, to open up, and to let us into their homes, let us into their hearts and their porches and their workplace, and share. And so I don't know, I just didn't want to get in the way. I did not want to get in the way and mess this thing up. And I always say sometimes that the most challenging thing for me is to make sure I don't do that. I don't get in the way, and make sure I hit record. So, and there's Vaughn Johnson, the man.
Hey,
How
Ron.
You doing, Mr. Johnson?
Hey, oh, there. Okay, there I go. I'm
Oh,
in
here we
there. I
go.
can't.
Did you hold back anything during the filming process? And if so, can you share, or did you not hold anything back?
What do you mean hold back? Sorry.
As you're telling your story, as you were telling your story, was there anything that you did not tell that you wanted to share now that you didn't tell at the time when you were sharing?
Honestly, I mean,
Mhm.
golly, I mean, we had 80, 90, 100 plus hours of interviews and moments. And I mean, there's so many things that's on the cutting room floor that I wish had its own life. Because, you know, I said this to everybody involved when we had a kind of a premiere for them, that, you know, I wish I had a 10-hour, you know, episodic series that I could just tell everybody's story. There's so much. So I'm very happy with how it came together. I mean, I don't think there's one thing in it or not that didn't make it that I go, oh gosh, this is keeping me up at night. I wish we had that one scene in there. So no, I'm very happy with how it came together. And what's great about getting to know everybody the way that we did is that their story keeps going, you know? And so as just a friend, I wanted time to continue to know their story and share. So it's just because the film's done doesn't mean the story's stopping.
Speaking of the amount of hours of film that you had, what was the editing process like for you for editing this film?
There was the opening scene when Vaughn told us the story of what his dream was as a teenager. When I heard that, I said, that's the opening of the film. And that never went away. So yeah, that the same way in the edit, the same way in approaching the film is the same way that we approached the edit, was keeping an open mind and not trying to have an agenda, and to really just focus on, I don't know, I do everything by feel. I mean, I'm not an analytical filmmaker at all. It's all, I don't want to get like all religious in here, but sometimes, I hear something and I feel like somebody's in the room with me that's like, oh, this goes here, this is next, so that's, I don't know if that's a lame answer or not, but that's really the process. And I would put something together and then I would send it to the team and just say, hey, this is powerful, and now we got to figure out where it goes. And so there was a lot of back and forth between mainly David Powers and myself. And when we were comfortable with the first cut, we wanted to make sure we sent it out to people that we trusted, and let them see and give feedback. We did a questionnaire. And it wasn't, we made sure it wasn't a bunch of filmmakers. We wanted to make sure it was a few filmmakers, but then also people that are leaders in the community, that know some of these communities. And they gave us some honest feedback, and we embraced it, and was able to make the next round. And that next round is what you see in the film. Yeah.
Great. And for those of you in the film, what public policies would you like to see change to help those living in public housing?
I would like to see better programs. There are some great programs, but I want to see them promoted better. People support it differently. I know of the one program that I stood on, which was the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. However, the program is only beneficial if you get a raise and your rent go up. A lot of people that live in RRHA work. A lot of people work. I know it shows, or there's this, myth that a lot of people don't work in RRHA, but they do. And so if you're already working and your rent is at a set amount, when you get into the program, you don't see your escrow growing. And so just to get that message out there, especially to those families of people that may not be working right now. If you're not working, that's the best time to get into the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. So that once your rent go up, you can see your escrow. Along with that program, you will set goals for yourself. So if your goals is to repair your credit, if your goals are to, become a homeowner, whatever it is, that person will connect you with the links that will help you achieve those goals. And the money is real. It's real. It's not a gimmick. It's not any, you just have to follow your end of the bargain, and it's real. But I'd like to see more programs. I'd like to see other things that'll support these families, help with these smaller children. I had a support team. I had my mom. Everybody don't have a support team. So you may not be able to work 8 to 10 hours a day if you, especially now with what's going on with COVID, so I'd like to see some support with helping our moms and dads with their kids, opening up these boys and girls clubs again, getting some basketball teams and football teams and all of that, something to support the kids, something to give them something to do. And while they're doing that with people that you can trust, the mom can be working, and and doing other things to better the family. So yeah, programming and possibly looking at, this may sound crazy, but possibly looking at some type of program that doesn't raise the rent, but maybe they need to show somehow that they are saving a certain percentage out of their check, or letting them get on their feet before you start, raising their rent, because you just don't know what people are going through, what they've been through, and things of that nature. So just putting that support there for our families, because everybody don't want to just be in RRHA. A lot of people that was just a stepping stone for them, but it can be scary leaving up out there, paycheck to paycheck.
Thank you, Ms. Brake. I was hoping, after watching the film, I was hoping, and I assumed that you would have something for that question for sure. Anyone else?
I got you, Lorenzo. and I got those families in RRHA. So if this Zoom meeting get to air, I just want the families. I don't care which development you live in. Cotina Break is my name. You Facebook message me. You can, somehow, if this get posted on social media, comment under the video. I will link you to wherever it is or whatever it is that you're trying to do. I promise you that I'm going to change my name to Cotina the Linkster, because I am a linkster and I share information. I will take you to the door of wherever it is that you want to go and you're trying to do. We're in this together and you can do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Anyone else have any thoughts?
I do. Fines policies and with the housing, I think they need to be more compassionate, understanding. When you're making policies and decisions, make sure you're making them based on the audience or the people whom you serve. Your day-to-day operations, you need to make sure that things are going straight with that, because that's a big problem. You need to be more transparent with the residents and be for real. And when you're making plans, we don't think that we don't know what's going on underneath the surface. So don't play us as we stupid. We know what's happening. So just be real with us. But also, when Cotina talk about the self-sufficient program, RHA does have a lot of nice programs, but you don't really know about them sometimes. The self-sufficient one, I was one of the original members, and like she said, you do get money, and it is based on if you're working. And if you're not working, it's the best time, because once you start working, then your income will increase. I finished the program, but however, my goal was to achieve full-time employment. Once I achieved the full-time employment and I got my money, the job folded. So I was back to square one. But it was like 12 of us in the beginning. And what happened was, one of the first persons, she got like $11,000 out of her escrow. So it is feasible and it is a great program to get in. But, like Cotina said, when we trying to get people to get we go 1 foot forward before we can get situated in that first step. We going back because your rent is going up. You might take a job and you get a promotion or something, but before you can really get set with that promotion, you're getting pushed back because your rent is going up. You can't save anything. So I just want them to be more mindful as far as housing with the policies that they put in place, as far as how they treat us, the living conditions, eating conditions, and things like that. And the programs, they're good, but they just need to be more advertised and more marketed, so people in the developments can get a hold of that kind of thing.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. And Mr. Thompson, Mr. Johnson, do you have any thoughts on policies that should be changed, that you would like to see changed?
We need some programs that like teach us trades. I think I don't know if it made the film and I can't even remember, but we need some programs that teach us a trade. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just work with our hands basically. A lot of programs in the community are mainly towards the women, and the women need it the most. But it's two sides to every story. So now you got strong men who want to do things, but it's like, what programs do we get into? I think we need to see some men, I guess some men success stories somehow. So if they got a man that went through the program or whatever, we need to see that. Because I don't hear about half of the programs that's going on. So they do need to advertise it better.
I also want to piggyback on that with you too. They used to have programs like the OIC, and they find people jobs, the young people jobs in the summertime. And back in the day, the PIAP that they have now, they used to athletic lead the police after they used to come in the communities with the kids and pick up the children and the young little boys and have them in the pee-wees and the wee-wees. And that was a program that kept the kids off the street. And it's like all the programs that they was doing that was keeping the children off the street, they're non-existent now. Now the PAD program you have to pay for, and a lot of kids in the project you can't afford to pay for it. They do sponsor some kids, but it was a time when that was something that was done and it was free of charge, and a lot of kids got into that, and we didn't have a lot of this chaos that we have now. So a lot of things happen because the programs has been pulled away, and we don't have those programs in place now. So it's nothing for the kids to do. I mean, when you walk around, it's like a dead zone. It's nothing for them to do. So, and I think we need to go back to those type of programs. And when you're making programs for, especially with the guys and the men that's coming up, they have programs that you have to go through all these schooling and things, but there's no money coming in. And if you don't have any money to feed your family, it's okay to try to get an education, but if you can't feed your family, that program is not going to be beneficial for you unless you got some kind of other income source coming in. There need to be some programs you can work, and then you can do the educational part too. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like a twofold. So you will be learning, but at the same time, you're getting paid so you can be able to have some kind of income to support yourself or your family.
Okay, I'm gonna let the guys jump in, but I can't miss this opportunity. So the Office of Community Wealth Building, I am an ambassador for them. TJ, Vaughn will know about him. Vaughn posted on Facebook, said he want to go for his CDA. Sandy Smith is a big part of this film too.
Yes, she is.
She worked with a lot of us, and Sandy Smith,
she comes out of Jackson Ward. She came out of Jackson Ward.
And so the Office of Community Wealth Building, and just what you just said, Ms. Gwen, if you go to the meetings for them to even inform you, you get paid. They are doing things in the communities like passing out the school desks to kids that don't have them. You go in for 2-3 hours, you get paid. You want to take up a trade, they will pay for it. If the funds are available, they will pay for it. And you only have to come sit at, I want to say it's 4 hours, but it's split up in 2 days, and it's called an information session. So the Office of Community Wealth, they are doing great things in the community, and it does not just stop in RRHA. It is Richmond citywide. It's a citywide program. And to be honest with you, I'm misspeaking. I want to say that it's locally, like Henrico, like it doesn't matter what jurisdiction you're in for the Office of Community Wealth Building to help you. So we got something for men, women, and even they will help your children out. They've helped my children out. And it with great jobs. So yeah, we Office of Community Wealth Building. I'm an ambassador. That's it. I'm gone. That's it.
And what do you all think the future holds for places like Gilpin Court and Mosby Court?
They're gonna flip it. It's gonna be another Blackwell. They're gonna come in. They're gonna tear it down. They have already put things in place for our residents to take advantage of, but our residents have been let down so much, they're going to block people out that they really should be gravitating to, but they don't know who to trust. And so with not knowing who to trust, you're going to miss your opportunity, because there are people who really, really care. And there are people who is linked and connected to these brand new apartments that they're building, even though all of them not based on income, some of them are. And so when they come in to tear down RRHA units, developments, communities, which they are, they're going to say, we gave y'all an opportunity. Then we're going to be fighting saying, what about these people? These people are homeless. Nobody care about them. But then their defense is going to be, we gave y'all ample amount of time to get with this program and get with that program, and you didn't. But it's because on defense side for the residents, they don't know who to trust at this point. Like Vaughn said, people come in, take pictures, throw some hot dogs on the grill. Yay, I'm helping people in poverty. And you do that, and then you're never seen again. Then you tell your friends about it. And not only that, these people are submitting these pictures and writing these grants and getting grant money because they have taken pictures saying that they're helping people in poverty. And then they'll come back and pick and choose who they're going to help in poverty. So yeah, it's gonna look like Blackwell. I know you're from Charlottesville, but Blackwell was a RRHA scatter site. It was a very high crime area back in the 90s, and Blackwell is just it has been revitalized, and you have to have perfect credit. There are homes over there. Homes, and not even 5% of the Blackwell residents was able to move back into Blackwell once they finished everything over there. And I think that's what Mosby, Wookham, Fairfield, Gipping, all that is going to look like that. It's going to look brand new.
I think that's such an important piece to bring up, because it's something that, that happens. It happens here in Charlottesville, and it happens in areas all across the country with predominantly Black and brown neighborhoods, and it's been happening since the 1960s over and over again.
I couldn't even purchase a home where I was raised at. I couldn't. It was $350,000 right there, right down the street from Mosby, Fairfield, Wickham. I wanted one of those houses, even the row houses. They're out $350,000. It's no way, It's just no way. It's no way.
Anyone else have any thoughts on what the future holds?
I think it's gonna be like a big old homeless situation. A lot of people gonna be homeless, and we got people homeless now, and I think it's gonna get worse if they don't change the rules at the top. Nothing else is gonna change. It's gonna continue to be like this. I don't promote just having projects like it is today, but it's designed. I'm just put it out there. This is genocide at its finest. It's been 20 years now, and it's come to fruition. And this is what they're doing in the projects. People moving in, the people that want to come out of the county and want to come back in the city where it's accessible to, they got the money, so they come in, they buy up the property, they take the taxes up real high. So the old people that have had their houses for years, finally get ready to retire, they can't afford the property tax because the property tax, so they gone. So then these people that moved in and they got these nice houses and stuff, the taxes high, the houses high, you can't afford them. So then where you at? You're lost. If you don't have the money, you're lost. And they just taking over. It's just taking over. And each one of the developments that's in Richmond is located near an interstate. It's accessibility. So, and it's a whole lot tied into this, so, we know what time it is, and that's what's going on here. I don't see, you did Armstrong, and that's supposed to be a mixed community, but I really don't see how you gonna do a mixed community when you have all these people, you don't have the land or somewhere else to put these people, because everybody's not gonna fit in. And just like with the Black boy thing, you didn't qualify when you came in, but if you don't have your books straight in your organization and your day-to-day activities are not meeting what they're supposed to be meeting at, with your books are not accurate, but the ledger accounts for your residents, they're going to be in compliance, not in compliance. So they won't qualify to come back into these units. And that will happen with Blackwell, and that's what's happening. And it's going to happen all over until someone steps up at the top head. I mean, we can talk all we want, but till HUD and it starts at the top at HUD and places like that, it's never going to change. You see what happened in there. They take things away, and when you take things away, it looked like a destitute. It's like, okay, now it looks like we can tear this down because it's a flight. It's a bad site. It's, no one wants to live here, and that's what they do. You don't fix the maintenance. You don't do the electric. You don't do things like that to keep the foundation of the places up. You let go down, so of course it's gonna fall down. It's gonna be a crime zone. That's what it's. So that's a topic for a different day, because I can go on with that one. But I just think it can help, and then, but the way they go about it, I don't see how you can just take people out and don't have nowhere for them, because everybody not gonna qualify for these places that you're putting them in, and these places you're putting them in not gonna accept for so many project-based vouchers, because they don't want you over there either. I mean, they get a tax credit, but they don't want you, too many of you over there in their new site. So it's just picks and pieces, and we got 500 people in Creighton Court, not just alone. So you got about 5 more developments. Wherever all those people going, where are you going to put them when you call this mixed income? It's for people that's coming in. So that's why I'm at with that. I'm not against change, but I just don't like change when it's got a negative impact on the people that's living in the project.
Mm-hmm.
And government funded projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if Mr. Johnson can hear us. Mr. Johnson, wanted to see if you could chime in and give us your thoughts on what the future holds for places like Gilpin Court and Mosby Court.
Right, I heard y'all talking and stuff, I got a lot to say for real. And this might not be enough time for me. First, I want to go back to the programs and stuff in the communities and stuff. Yeah, they do got a lot of programs. You know what I'm saying? They don't let a lot of people know about the program. I started programs. I done been to the Commonwealth, to the Commonwealth building and met with them. And I've been at a lot of tables meeting with people talking about the problem. So now it's more being solution orientated than anything, and like we keep coming and we'll keep talking about the problem. Everybody know the problem. Am I right? Everybody knows the problem, right? So now my thing is, how do we come up with solutions for these guys that's out there? Right now, I got that ear, as I called Martin one day, and I was like, Martin, I have these guys ear now, because I've been in that situation, but God changed me to where I can get out that situation. So what helped me might not help those guys, you know what I'm saying? So now what we need to do, because we have the movie out and everybody, man, I'm telling you, like, people love the movie and love what we standing for. And the guys tell me now, they like, man, they call me Unc now, right? So I can be Unc. But they were like, every time you come up here, and I didn't understand why they kept running to my car, and they like, take me to the store. And I'm like, man, look, man. So the old person came out, right? I'm like, look, y'all can't keep coming to my car like that. Like, I ain't no pump shop, So, but it was a way of them showing me love, because if you don't know how to love somebody, or you don't know how to be affectionate with somebody, like, these guys don't know how to do that. So the only way they know how to love me is to run up to me and, what you doing? And he told me, he said, man, your energy. He said, they told me after I screamed on them, they were like, man, your energy, every time you come out here, it's like you want to see us do better. You know what I'm saying? You're not like everybody else that's trying to make us do, and I listen to them. Another thing I do is I listen to these guys, so it ain't even about me no more. My thing was, let's start a conversation, because we've been talking a whole lot. Now everybody want to come into this conversation. You should see my inbox, how many people want me to come speak. You know what I'm saying? I will not go and speak, because I've been speaking for so long. I've been speaking for the last 8 years, and nobody ever called me. I went to them, so now it's just like, no, what are y'all going to do for my people that's in this community struggling? And then I looked at it, TJ from Jackson Ward. I'm from Mosby Court. them guys, I don't know if anybody know, but it's a whole lot of stuff going on between those two crews. And for them to see me and TJ together, man, it's bigger than what anybody ever, I'm telling you, it's bigger than what people expect or people think, for real, because these guys on the inside looking at us and everybody else is on the outside looking at us, you know, but these guys, they like, man, you know, and they see me and TJ coming together like this, like me, and like we can really shake some stuff with this, just with this Herb video. We need to put some funding. And I tell people all the time, look, the happiest I seen my people in a long time was when coronavirus hit. And they was giving them people all that money. You don't hear about a lot of murders. People won't even coming outside. Man, it was awesome. So we know it's a lack of funding in those communities. We already know that. So also I even spoke on the board where they was talking about these something in the projects, all the projects. They doing, what's that word? It's a big word. I couldn't even use it. I didn't even know it. So anyway, they talking about turning all the projects down. Okay, so whether those people go to after they turn them down. So the people in Henrico, they like, oh, we don't want them to come out here, but what they are human beings regardless of what. You know what I'm saying? If you put a bunch of animals in one cage, I don't care what kind of animals they is, eventually they're gonna go crazy on each other. You know, so if you got all these people that don't even go outside of where they at, man, all that energy that they're using is going on the inside of those projects. That means if they get mad, they're gonna fight somebody in there. If they get angry, they ain't got no money, guess what? They're gonna rob somebody in there. So it ain't even about me no more, man. It's the programs, you know, like another thing. Programs, you know, they send us to school, but shoot, I ain't get my blessing until I had a career, which is my barbering, you know. So if I would have went and got a job after being released from prison, and I would have got a regular 9 to 5, y'all would not be having this conversation with me right now, you know. And I can't tell these guys, man, put the guns down, put the drugs down, because I don't have nothing in place for them. I can't give them no money. I done gave all my money to them. I'm done. I ain't got no cars. I ain't got no more money. I'm done. So now it's like, look, we need people like myself, like Miss Cotina, like TJ, like Miss Gwen, like Monte. Like we need these people. We need people to invest in us so we can try to figure out a way to try to invest into them. Because now it ain't even about, it's about what can we put in place for them if we do tell them, look, man, put the gun down. We don't have nothing. What do they like to do? What is that? You know, do you want to be a barber? Do you want to be a forklift guy? What do you want to do? Can we invest in these people into what they want to do into their career so they can try to do something better? Because the money that I'm making now changed my life. Barbering, God, and my sons changed my life. So if barbering changed my life, I can only imagine if somebody working a job and they really love me. I love getting up in the morning coming to work. You know what I'm saying? And if these guys can get that same motivation to go do something, they already hustlers. They know how to do accounting. They know how to do all that. So they hustlers. I told people straight up, I say, man, I sold every drug in the world. I can sell a haircut. I sell a bald man a haircut. I tried to sell one in the mountain. I just sold him a haircut. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, we need to go in. See, because we got that ear now. So now what we need to do, and I told Martin, I said, Martin, I'm going to take you around now. So now we need to film these guys to see what they want. They're in the community every day. I'm at work. And then I see them whenever I see them. But I'm at work. I made my decision. I made a decision. I want to be at work. I want to take care of my kids. I got my own house. I am good. I'm all right with that. But what I am not all right with is keep coming to the table talking about something that we already know the problem. We already know the problem now. It's like, what are we doing for the fix it? We can make movies, we can make conversations, we can do a lot of stuff. But what are we doing now to fix the problem? Like, that's my whole thing. I done been to every meeting with the governor, with the mayor. Man, everybody, I'm telling you, I can guarantee you, everybody know Vaughn Johnson in the city. Everybody. That's how many times I've been at the table with Commonwealth attorneys, everybody. You know, but I still go through it because I'm a convicted felon. I'm still going through it, even today. With everything I done did in my communities and all that, like I'm still going through it. But one thing I will not do is give up. Giving up is not an option, not for me anyway. So now if I can instill that into these same guys that grew up with me, that I got their ear and they look at me as the uncle, or they look at me as OG, if I can get that to them, if I can get them to grasp like, man, how much stuff they done been through in life, and they can just grab hold of that and be like, man, I don't want to go through that no more. And if I don't want to go through it, I'm definitely not going to put my kids through it. You know, so that's another thing. We need to get back to the basics. I wrote a program, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to let y'all, but I wrote a program called Back to the Basics. Back to the basics mean we need to get back to being a father, the child being a child, the mother being a mother. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, everything is out of order. Everything is out of order. Like, we don't, like, the men, I be hearing the men disrespect our women like they do. You know what I'm saying? The kids even disrespect. The kid putting the parents in time out. Like, Dad, take a time out, Dad. Like, what? Seriously? But that's just what it is. Everything is out of order. And I got a whole list of stuff, man. But we really need to get back to the basics where parenting can be parenting, where kids can play again, where they can go outside and play kickball, roly-poly, all that good stuff. We made games. We didn't have PlayStations and all that. When the Nintendo came out, it was 6 of us, and he was the oldest, so we couldn't never play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brother, that's my oldest brother right there. But I'm just saying, like, we really need to get with these guys and just get back to the base, man. Right now is the time, like, we talking, but right now is the time that we need to be walking. Like, we don't need to be doing no more talking. I'm tired. I done been walking, talking, and all that. What can I go to my guys and be like, man, look, man, if y'all do this, A, B, and C is in order, we gonna get it. We gonna get you right. You know, because that's all it is. They just lack of money. Like, they don't want to do it no more. Do you know the conversation I really have with these guys? They don't want to do it. They're tired. But they don't have no outlet. That's it. We gotta get these guys an outlet, man. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. And,
you met Vaughn.
yeah.
That's Vaughn right there.
That's Vaughn.
I just have a few more questions, just a couple more left for you all. Ms. Harris, in the film, I thought it was important. You mentioned in the film that you claim where you're from and you pay it forward. And I thought that was really important, which just brings me to how important is it for you all to advocate for change?
It's very important for me. That's my life now. That's what I do. I advocate for change. I'm about helping those that don't have a voice or don't know how to use their voice. I'm about injustice, and that's a big thing with me too. Injustice in the judicial system, with housing and everything like that. So I'm really big on stuff like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I give back. I pay it forward because I feel like this. God pulled me through a lot of things. I've been through a lot of change, and if I keep it to myself, it won't be worth going through. He pulled me through so I can be a help to someone else. So if I feel like my thing is to help people to reach their full potential, and if I see, I have a real soft heart for my Black brothers and sisters. Even though they be knocked down, I still give them the chance. They be doing things, and I be like, come on now, I want to knock you upside the head, but I still give it because I know I look for the good. I always look for the good. I look past what's on the surface because I know that sometimes where you came from, you living out where you came from. And if you didn't have somebody to teach you or build a foundation for you, then when you fall, you have nothing to hold you back. But when you got a foundation, somebody built something, you can set some values and stuff with you, you may go astray, but you will have that to fall back on. And a lot of people don't. So I always give, and I just want to make sure that people make a change in the world. So my people, my grandchildren can live a better life in a better place. And that's what I'm about. It's not really about me no more. It's about helping people to be the best that they can be.
Mr. Cosby, how important is it for you to be an advocate?
It's important, you know. It's time for a change, I guess. I don't have too much to say about it. I just have to prove it.
Okay.
Yeah. We appreciate in the film, the program that you created for middle school students, with the cycling. That was amazing.
Yeah, that organization helped me a lot. Definitely.
Ms. Brake and Mr. Thompson, any thoughts?
Oh, it's very important for me. It is. I always say, like, I'm not the only Cotina. I'm not the only Cotina, and we're not gonna forget about the other people that are out there. That's like, how can I do this? It is a way, you know. But it's very important for me to advocate for my people. That's where I'm from. I was born and raised in RRHA. You know, I had no idea. I just started learning, and I'm 40. How old am I? I'm 42.
Now you too young to be forgetting that.
I'm 42, and roughly about 3 to 5 years ago, I just learned about redlining. And I'm not even embarrassed to say what I'm learning. You know, I just learned about redlining. Because I'm like, why? You know, why does these people want to do a docu? Like, why? Because they're not the first ones. This is not my first documentary. And I'm like, why is it so important? Why do these people want me at their table? Why do these people, and never to realize that, oh, because of where I live and because of where I was born, you mean to tell me that somebody already spoke it over my life, over my family's life, that we weren't supposed to make it out of here? Like, why we can't make it out of here? You know, and so, which really pushed me to want to make it out even more, not to prove anything to people, but just to say, you can't live shoulda, woulda, couldas, but what if I never was born into poverty? You know, but I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and you know, my testimony can help motivate somebody else, but I will always advocate for my people, always. And let's just be honest, you know, we're speaking on RRHA, but a lot of people just a paycheck away from being in poverty. Let's be honest, a paycheck away. So it's not, I'm just for people, period. Anybody who want to do better, period. But definitely would never forget where I came from. And those people, those residents can always call on, you know, Cotina. And if I can't help them, then I'll definitely lead them to someone that I trust that can help them.
That's right. Because I was born and raised in Jackson or Gibbon Court. And it was, don't look like it do now, but I was born and raised there, and it was programs, and the people was excelling, and the people that working in the office, they were residents. So it was really, it took a turn. It really took a turn, but it was a nice place growing up for me, because I didn't even know we was in poverty, living out in the project. You didn't even really know it. Your mind, creativity. It opened up your creativity. It did a lot for me. It taught you how to deal with people. I learned a lot being, and I would never, ever forget where I came from. People ask me, well, oh, I was born and raised in Jackson Ward. You know, Gibbon Court, that's my hometown. I don't care where I'm at. I would never share, because that what made me and built my character as the person that I am today. And that's what we was about back then, helping each other and everybody looking out. It was a village back then. And I think that's what happened. The village got torn away and pulled apart back, you know, policies and things coming in play to change things in the home and family. So, you know, now we got to just get the village back and bring our young people back together.
Thank you. Mr. Montgomery, did this experience of making this film change you in any way personally or professionally as a filmmaker?
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's a difficult question to put into words without getting too emotional about it, because just the friendships that have been made. And I know.
Excuse me. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Just wanted to make it known, like, Emmy award-winning Martin Montgomery. That's all I want to say. I'm sorry. Emmy award-winning. Thank you. Get that right.
Come on, Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn, speak it into existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, had to go there.
Got you blushing.
I don't even remember what I was saying. You know, Vaughn. One of the things that Vaughn said one day that made me just go, "Wow, this was successful." And we hadn't even started editing. And Vaughn said that I was a brother from another mother. And that has stuck with me, and I feel that with everybody in here. And I know some filmmakers, like, you don't want to cross that line, but when you're with these folks here, you can't help but cross that line, because they're coming over that line and opening up their hearts to you and want you to be a part of their lives. And it's just been humbling. It's been an awesome experience. But one thing, I'm going to tell you a real quick story. I had an office downtown Richmond, and I used to live in North Side, and you would have to drive past Gilpin Court to get to my house. And I'll be honest with you, there were times that I would, and during the winter times when it was darker at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, I was like, I hope that light doesn't change. It's right by, to red. That's right by Gilpin. And so over time, that when I started thinking about doing this film, I remembered that, and I was thinking how awful that was for me to have those feelings. The second interview I did was TJ, which is in that building right by that stoplight. So that was the first time that I turned and went into that building to go in and interview TJ. And so when I see Gilpin Court, I see TJ, I see Tori. When I see Mosby, I think of Vaughn and his family, and just on and on and on. And that was one of the biggest things for me as we started this, as the process took off, was if we could put names to these buildings. It's not about issues. It's like, well, it is about issues, but it's like, you can't dismiss people when you know them. And you said that, Lorenzo, you said that you feel like you know everybody already just by watching our film. And that was the biggest goal for us as filmmakers, is that we want whoever watches this to go, I'm a champion for TJ, I'm a champion for Cotina, and what can I do in my own life to maybe help the issues? And also, how can I make my own connections so I can find my own, the names that are out there that I haven't discovered yet? So I hope people that watch this take an effort to get into communities that you never walked into, and get to know people, spend time with people, because you'll find that they're people, and they're really good people in these communities. And so when you see a headline news, that they're talking about tearing things down, and or there's a lot of crime, you gotta just remember that there are a lot of good people that it might be too easy just to turn the page or turn the channel. And I just want people to realize that, and want to make connections in their own lives, because you will be forever changed. I can guarantee you that.
Thank you. Definitely forever changed after you see this amazing film that you all have created. So thank you so much for sharing your stories. And for everyone, how are you doing now? Can you give us an update on yourself, and as well as where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Well, me.
Oh,
go ahead. You go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ms. Gwen.
No, you go right on ahead, baby.
For me, the family, my daughter got her own apartment. We all moved in here together. But my daughter moved out. My son is planning to purchase his home next year, him and his fiance. I'm now a grandma times 2. And so that leaves me and my older daughter, who says she's not going anywhere. And I'm fine with that. And so her and I, within the next, I'm going to just put it out there and say anywhere from 5 to maybe 7 years. I'm not going to stretch it out too far. Let's just say 5 years. I won't stretch it past 5. So we're planning to purchase some land and have us a family rancher built on some acres. We're looking into the country, going country living. just something so that, again, we can leave to my grandchildren's grandchildren. Hopefully it'll be enough land that they can build, more than the house that we're building. We can add more homes to that land. And so we're just thinking future wise, as in wealth. As far as like my job changed. But I'm grateful to still be working. I was out of work for 2 full months, but never went hungry because we came in here together, and my children, they pulled together and we crutched it together without me working. Didn't go without paying mortgage, light, water, gas, any of that. So I'm very grateful that the plan that I laid out, like, hey, just in case something happened with either one of us, we're together. And we had to do it. My son went through a gap in his job. We picked up his end of the bills. My daughter went through a gap in her job. We picked up her end of the bills. And when I went through my gap with my job, my children went on with the bills. And so I'm just grateful, health-wise, mindset-wise. I'm grateful, and I have no complaints.
Thank you, and congratulations on the second grandbaby.
Thank you.
And that speaks right to what Ms. Harris was talking about, talking about how it takes a village, and everyone sticking together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ms. Harris, you have an update for us?
Well, right now I'm still I'm advocating. Well, I'm writing justice, trying to get some answers to questions about the school, and I'm still in community. See about the 2 schools that we have. Have there been a discussion on the 2 schools in Wellville and Fairfield that's in creating in Fairfield courts? What about the new schools? Has anything been done about that? I'm still trying to get appointment with the CEO of RHA in reference to this highest utility expense. Other than that, in 3 years, I see myself probably making some changes in some policies, because I'm about making policy changes instead of talking. I'm being about it instead of talking about it. And I think gonna have to start in changes. I'm going toward the judicial system because there's something, this plea agreement with the Fourth Amendment right things are not going right. So I need to get into that. So that's my goal, to be doing those things. In 3 years, I probably see myself on a platform somewhere, still advocating and doing things on a bigger scale. And hopefully in 3 years, when I'm 60, I would have sent a mate for me, my husband to me. And I'll be walking down the aisle with my husband at 60. Other than that, that's what I'm doing, and enjoying my 3 grandbabies. I got 2 granddaughters and 1 grandson, and they are a handful, but I love them. I'm blessed to be able to see another generation. So that's what I'm at right about now.
Thank you. Anyone else have an update?
TJ, do you have an update? But I know you do.
Yeah, I know you got an update. Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
I
now.
don't know what's wrong.
Oh yeah, I just got engaged.
Huh?
Just got engaged. Well, I just got married now, so I'm married.
Oh, you married?
Congratulations.
Oh,
Congratulations.
right. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick.
I know. I don't play no game.
I see you. I like that, brother. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You
So,
said you was
I got married.
you had step with my brother.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, Vaughn
I'm
was
so
there.
proud
Vaughn
of
was
you.
there to see it too. Vaughn was there.
She was.
Vaughn said, I might get married now.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, he was
Don't
so
do that,
scared,
dog.
y'all. Hey, he was scared as heck, y'all.
He was
He,
scared.
hey, you can see the sweat dripping off his nose. I'm like, dang, bro. He's like he was walking into the dungeon. I ain't like.
Hey, TJ.
Congratulations.
TJ, can you tell the viewers watching this who you married?
I met Tiara Patil. That's the mother of my daughter. You see my daughter? Say hey.
Hey, Tori.
Hey, Tori.
Hey, Tori.
Yep. My second book doing good, which is called Study Guide.
Yep.
The book and the merch is doing very well.
Okay.
So you know.
I gave my son I gave him a test. I say he had to read the whole book and he's gonna write you a paragraph off of what he learned. He don't know I'm gonna give him $100 for doing it, but I'm gonna make sure I ain't even gonna read it. I'm gonna just give it straight to you, TJ.
Oh
So
yeah.
Let you know he read your book.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. I definitely need his feedback.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got you, buddy.
Oh yeah.
This is like my dream coming true. This is my vision. Y'all doing the thing. These the type of men I wanted to come back and give to the community. Y'all doing y'all thing. I love y'all.
I love you too, Queen.
I love y'all.
And then people wouldn't even know. We like most of us just met each other doing this film. You know what I'm saying? Like and the way it's like we've been knowing each other forever for real. You know, like it didn't even, I don't know, it wasn't even like when we got around each other, we was acting all nerdy. We were eating and everything. Like, hey, what you doing? Like, welcome to the family reunion. Like, I ain't seen you in a long time, cuz. I love you, cuz. I love you, cuz.
Lorenzo, I know Monty is a very humble guy and doesn't like to brag. But Monty, tell us a little bit about what's going on at Ward Wilson. Were you something like the student of the week or month or something? What's going on with that?
Both.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I got student of the week a week ago, maybe. That's a good update.
Yes.
What's up, boy?
My GPA is a 3.6 right now.
You go, boy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So proud. I am so proud of you.
Yeah, everything is new here, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
How about the bike?
Different.
What about the bike?
Oh yeah, I just got a new bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very excited about that. And very thankful.
And he's real
as well.
fast, y'all. He's really fast.
Oh yeah,
I'm real fast. Thank you guys.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
do you have a update for us? I know everyone is after seeing the film is itching to know update on you.
Oh man, part 2, y'all just gotta watch part 2. Everything gonna be in part 2. No, I just play. But since the movie, we did a lot of filming. We did a lot of filming, and throughout the film, like we still was having our trials and tribulations as well, you know. But for to still be here and still have my mental and still be able to, continue to motivate people and help people. Through the whole film, nobody even knows I was going through a divorce. I had a lot going on. But like I was telling people, giving up is not an option. My motivation for helping people, it outweighs anything that I could be going through in life. You know, because once God changed my mental into, you know what I'm saying, like what you make happen for his people, he's obligated to make happen for you. And once I started sowing into his people and I just seen the blessings coming my way, I say, well, shoot, I don't know. I'd rather try God, not a marriage. So anyway, yeah, but I was going through that. And then also, hopefully, if we do come out with the part 2, there's a lot more to be told than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell it in the next story. But anyway, I finally got my own little space. I do have my own little, I have a studio now. I was working at somebody else's shop. I have my own house. My son came to live with me finally. They wouldn't even come over at one point. But now they cut. Matter of fact, it's 2 of them now. John came to live with me too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got 2 of my sons living with me now. Man, God is so good. I'm telling you, he just been blessing me so much, man. So many opportunities. my ultimate goal though is to give back. Like I'm a barber instructor. And I know what barbering did for me, and my ultimate goal is to take it back into the jail because I know barbering can change somebody's life. That's the only reason I got my instructor license, and I don't want to get paid for it. If I do, then okay, but it is what it is. But somebody did it for me. Like, I didn't pay for my barber's license. I didn't pay for my instructor license. Like somebody just blessed me. Like, somebody paid for it for me. So now what I'm willing to do is I just want to give it to somebody else who was so freely given to me. And like I said, I know what it did for me. I know, and through barbering, I was able to share my story with other people to help them as well. They're like, being a barber is just not about cutting hair. I tell people all the time, 90% of my haircut is my attitude. Like, I can give a person a bald spot, and they will still walk out here like they got the best haircut in the world, you know. But like I say, yeah, then now, like another thing, like, it's just going back and giving back to these guys in the community. Like I said, it's not about us no more. We done sparked the conversation. So now this is the time that we need to go into the people that still living inside of those communities, because I still live in those communities as well. So, you know, but my thing is to change the mindset of the guys. Like, man, we can do better, man. Like it won't ease it, but it can be done. And if they say Vaughn did it, man, best believe y'all can do it. You know, so that's my whole thing. My whole thing is just keep on giving back, keep connecting with good people, and don't pay attention to all this stuff that's going on in this crazy world, you know, because they'll have us against each and everybody that's on here, you know. But yeah, that's my whole thing, man. And it just life been good, man. Life been so good to me. I ain't got nothing to complain about. Like, I really don't. You know, life show up at times. It shows up, but the thing is, when life show up, what do you do in that moment? Life gonna show up all the time. It's just what are you gonna do when life show up? Like, you can easily give up. You go do what you've been doing, or you can just pray and keep it moving. And that's what I do. I just pray and keep moving. And now, I'm gonna say this, man. God, and I don't like to get religion. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not religious. Okay, so let's get that out there. But I choose to call. But I look at it like this now. Back in the biblical days, God needed Jesus to go in with the people. And Jesus, right now, if Jesus needed to go in with the people, he couldn't go in with a sheet on and some flip-flops. So what God did is he kept me looking like the people that I'm trying to reach out to. So if I got to go into those communities, I have to match up. I can't go in there with no white shirt, no white sheet on, and some flip-flops. I'm sorry, but they're not going to accept me. At first, I wanted to turn myself, because this is a mask. All of this is a mask. These goals, these tattoos, it's a mask. It was a mask to fit in a group of people that didn't really like me. But then after that, so I'm going to use this mask now to help somebody that look like me to get them to the other side. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep going into these communities where I look like these guys and they can relate to me. And I'm gonna tell them, and the first thing they know, I don't cuss. I don't use the N-word. I don't do none of that. But the thing they do admire about me is the energy that I keep. And guess what? I haven't lied to them. I haven't lied to them. That's another thing. If you lie to them, you're done. Like, it's a wrap. That's one thing I didn't do and I don't want to do is lie to them. And I'm gonna continue to give them the word that helped me. And hopefully, man, they can just, you know, they can get it. But definitely, heck yeah, that's my ultimate goal, man. These guys, they just want to be loved on. I just like hugging them. And I'm telling you, man, they just, oh my God. So that's what it is. My bad.
Thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Montgomery, thank you for making this film, and it's an amazing piece of work. And thank you to all of you for sharing your important stories. And before we go, also I want to thank VPM and Bell Tower Pictures as well. And for all of you watching and have seen this amazing film, if for more information, you can also go to vpm.org/heard. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching and enjoying the documentary. Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks
y'all
for having us,
Thank
Lorenzo.
you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks,
Thank y'all.
Great to meet everyone.